What up, Ogus Army? It's your boy Matt Ogus, chilling here with some dogs. This is Sam right here, Max right there. Dude, all day Sam just fucks with Max. Sam's little brother. All day, he's just chewing on Max and like trying to bite his tail and fucking with him. And they play around like good brothers, but it's hilarious because as you can see, he just keeps pressing him. He just keeps on going, and Max knows he could destroy him if he wanted to. This is another Q&A video with Eric Helms. Some of you guys have been asking, who the hell is this Eric Helms guy? You don't know if his advice is good or whatnot, so you know, you have my word for it that you can trust this person. If you trust me, then you can really trust this guy. What kind of certifications does he have? What kind of education? Well, I'll just read it right here. I'm looking at the 3DMJ website. He has a bachelor's in sports management, a master's in exercise science and health promotion. He's working on a second master's pretty soon when he goes over to Auckland, New Zealand. Several different certifications, NSCA, CSCS, USA weightlifting certification, a National Academy of Sports Medicine certification, all these like sub-certifications under that. NASE certification, freaking powerlifting certification, just a whole lot of shit. A pretty long bodybuilding history starting from 2007. In 2011, he reached his natural pro card with the PNBA. He's been powerlifting since like 2006. He's done many different powerlifting competitions. And I think the most noteworthy thing here is that he coaches, has coached, will coach several incredible natural competitive bodybuilders to get incredibly shredded. He knows a lot about human physiology, nutrition, biomechanics, injury prevention, injury rehab, and all sorts of that incredible stuff. And he's coached, like I said, many pros and, of course, many amazing amateurs in natural bodybuilding. Oh, by the way, he's a damn good coach. So that's Eric Helms, in case you guys were wondering who he is. Here's the video. The topic is maintaining strength during a cut. Hope you enjoy. Yon Wei, by the way, your shirt's on the way, you Myron. How to maintain strength gains being on a caloric deficit. And is it possible to gain strength being on a caloric deficit?
Yep. Most people do it. If they're
How would you maintain it? I mean,
don't be extreme. Don't be severe.
okay.
Losing something like 0.5 to 1.5% of your body weight per week is going to ensure that the deficit isn't so low that you can't maintain gym performance. You know, the thing that is the primary determinant of whether you're going to have muscle mass or not is can you maintain tension on a muscle, not what's your protein intake. I mean, or your caloric intake. Those things modify that, but if your diet and your cardio is extreme to the point where it's impacting weight training performance,
you can't maintain strength.
Then you can't maintain the things you got from your weight training performance.
Okay, so in terms of weight training and programming, like what are some tips or guidelines or?
So you probably want slightly lower volume than you normally use, just because you may not make as fast a progress, but it allows you to recover, which is going to be the main thing impacted by a caloric deficit. Okay. I would focus on not overdoing cardio. Okay. Remember that you're a weightlifter first. Yeah. I would probably bump your protein up a little bit from where you have it normally, probably a little over body weight. Have as much carbohydrates and fat as you can eat while still losing that 1.5% of body weight per week. And then unless you're trying to get on a bodybuilding stage, don't get shredded, just get beach lean.
Yeah.
I get people contact me all the time because I want to get shredded, and I go, why? And they go, because it looks awesome. And I go, okay, so you'll hang out for 3 weeks shredded, and you'll start binge eating, and you'll get fat, and you'll be depressed.
Yeah.
Suppress your hormones. It's like, the only reason I try to get shredded and shredded glutes is to beat people on stage and do well.
Yeah.
Chicks don't even like shredded glutes. I mean, it looks like you have a rib cage instead of an ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like, get yourself to healthy 8-9%. Diet until it gets hard, and you'll probably be lean enough to look good. And if you make the diet harder than it has to be, you'll probably be like 15% when starting, Yeah. So, be flexible. To give you some realistic perspectives, I've had people diet for 6 months, drop 25 pounds, and still be gaining strength, and they only really have dips on specific movements and only when they get really lean.
Okay.
Normally the first thing to go is pressing. I don't know why. that's something I found with almost everybody is they'll lose their pressing strength. So maybe keep your volume a little higher on pressing. But yeah, I mean, I remember I started being able to squat like 405 for a triple in 2011, and I was like started my diet at 200. I hit 184, and that week I hit 405 for 2 sets of 4 on squats. So I've gotten a little stronger.
That's good.
It's definitely possible. You know, most of the powerlifters who I work with, and this is a broad general concept. I'm not saying bodybuilders should train like powerlifters, and I'm not saying that powerlifters should diet like bodybuilders, but there's things you can learn from each camp. Like most powerlifters, they just cut out an entire food group and starve themselves and do a bunch of cardio to try to make a weight class, you know?
Yep.
And they can't imagine how somebody can keep their strength and cut to a lower weight class, you know? They come to me and they go, you know, every time I diet, I lose like, my total goes down a whole lot.
Yeah.
You know? And I even talked to powerlifters who are convinced that every person needs to be 1 weight class higher than they are. And most powerlifters I look at it, they go, you need to be 1 or 2 weight classes lower than you are, keep 95% of your strength, and go from like class 1 to master, you know?
Yep.
And it's just a matter of, you know, don't just remove carbohydrates. You know, I've heard those fuel exercise performance, you know? Keep as much in as you can. And bodybuilders do the same shit. You know, they're training heavy, they're training hard, and they do a prep, and all of a sudden they don't touch anything under 15 reps.
Yeah.
And then they lose muscle. So, I mean...
They say, fuck carbs.
Yeah, the bodybuilders tend to lose strength, not because of their nutrition changes, but because of their training changes that they arbitrarily make. And the powerlifters tend to lose strength not because of their training, which they keep normally the same, but their extreme weight loss methods. So
strong. You BBC'd that question.
Is that the British Broadcasting Channel?
Next question.
Okay.
Hey, quit being a little bitch!
Ogus cake!
Yeah, motherfucker!